Hello, dears. Today we'll be delving into the intriguing world of poetry with an analysis of This is a Photograph of Me by Margaret Atwood. So let's explore this poem written by Margaret Atwood. So, first, let's see who Margaret Atwood is. Margaret Atwood, a renowned Canadian poet, penned This is a Photograph of Me, a poem that beckons us to contemplate the intricacies of our existence. This poem was published in 1966 in her collection, The Circle Game, and this piece has continued to captivate readers with its enigmatic narrative. And let's read each line of the poem. The poem starts like this. It was taken some time ago. At first, it seems to be a smeared print, blurred lines and grey flecks blended with the paper. Then, as you scan it, you see in the left hand corner a thing that is like a branch, part of a tree, balsam or spruce, emerging, and to the right, halfway up, what ought to be a gentle slope of small frame house. In the background, there is a lake, and beyond that, some low hills. Photograph was taken the day after I drowned. I am in the lake in the center of the picture, just under the surface. It is difficult to say where precisely or to say how large or small I am. The effect of water on light is a distortion. But if you look long enough, eventually you will be able to see me. So, this is a poem we have to learn. So, let's begin from the first lines. And before we see through the lines of the poem, let's look into a brief overview of the poem. Like, this is a photograph of me. This poem was crafted in free verse, and also it embraces a narrative style that draws us into the depths. So, the narrative style is really interesting. And she also employs various literary devices, creating a rich tapestry of imagery and emotion through this poem. And our journey begins with the poem's initial lines describing a photograph that appears as a smeared print. See, at first, it was taken some time ago. That is, she's talking about the photograph which was taken some time ago, and the photograph it appears to be smeared, and also it has blurred lines and gray flecks. Okay, it has blurred lines and gray flecks blended with the paper, so it is not so clear a photograph, and this creates an atmosphere of ambiguity that invites us to explore the layers of meaning within. That is, from the first lines itself, it's not clear what photograph it is, but we know it was taken some time ago, and the photograph is not so much clear. So the poet is talking about something which intrigues the reader to know much more about this photograph. And in the next lines, we can see then as you scan it. So as we look the photograph, as we scan the photograph, the details emerge. So we can see much more details in the poem. That is trees in the left hand corner. We can see there is a branch, part of tree, which appears to the left side of the left hand corner. And a small frame house to the right also can be seen, and also a gentle slope. And then these elements gradually unfold, contributing to both the visual and thematic development of the poem. And she also uses a description which pulls us deeper into the narrative. This intrigues the reader to know much more of what she is going to speak of the photograph. And the next lines, that is, in the background there is a lake, and beyond that some low hills. This also gives a much more clear point of view or clear view of what we could see in the photograph. And we discover that the photograph uh, okay, so this is, we can see that much more details are given in these lines, and the next lines are the most important lines of the poem. The photograph was taken the day after I drowned. Here is where Margaret Atwood puts in the most important, the most crucial information in the poem. That is, this photograph was taken the day after the speaker drowned. She drowned in the lake, and this photograph was taken the day after that. And this revelation adds a haunting layer to the narrative. So until this moment, we doesn't know what the photograph, or we don't know what the photograph is talking about, or what we could see in the photograph. But in this, we can understand that it is of a much more haunting sense. And it also connects the visual elements to a profound personal experience, and it is a turning point that reshapes our understanding of the poem. From this point onwards, our understanding of the poem, it changes. And I am in the lake. The speaker says she's within the lake at the center of the picture, just below the surface, and that is where we find the speaker. And this disclosure adds a new dimension to the visual imagery, prompting us to consider the significance of the speaker's position in the photograph and its impact on the overall narrative. So this is what we see in the photograph. That is, the author or the speaker is there in the poem, in the photograph, but she is drowned, or the person was drowned the day before the photograph was taken. So she is there in the, or the speaker is there in the picture, just under the surface of the lake. And then the poet says, as we navigate through the poem, we see or we encounter challenges in perception. The speaker notes the difficulty in determining size and precise location due to the distortion caused by water and light. That is what we see here. The effect of water on light is a distortion. So we cannot exactly determine the size and location and all. And Atwood clearly highlights the complexities of how we perceive ourselves and others. So that is a much more deeper theme of the poem. And in the final lines, the speaker acknowledges the challenges. That is, but if you look long enough, eventually you will be able to see me. That is, this speaks to the elusive nature of self-awareness. That is, like the distorted image in the photograph, true understanding of ourselves may require time and patience. That is, in this photograph, it might be difficult for us to easily understand where the author or the speaker is, because she's lying, or the person is lying under the surface of the lake. So it is difficult uh, to capture where exactly the speaker is. In the same way, the poet says it might be difficult, or it might take time and patience to understand ourselves, to identify ourselves. It might take time, just like we find the person in the photograph. So it is a reflection on the ongoing journey of self discovery. And to sum up, we have explored three key themes in the poem: perception, identity, and the elusive nature of self awareness. These are the major themes discussed in the poem. And these themes intertwine, inviting us to ponder the complexities of our own existence and how we perceive the world around us. So, how we perceive the world around us, our identity, how it might be difficult to find our own identity in this world, and our self awareness. Even though it might take time, we'll be finally able to identify ourselves, but it takes time and patience. So, these are the major concepts you'll have to know about this poem. I hope it's clear for you. So, if you have any doubts, you can ask them and read the poem once again. So, thank you for your time.